Here are 10 secrets the casinos don't want you to know. From the weird to the downright terrifying, knowing these secrets will mean the casinos will never trick you again. Number 10. They're always watching you. Sure, these days there are cameras pretty much everywhere, but the ones in casinos are not for security purposes. They're there to spy on you to help casinos study and manipulate you. They're using real-time behavior analytics, algorithms, and player tracking techniques that help them get gamblers to spend more. The only places you can expect to have some privacy are the bathroom and in your own room. If that's not terrifying enough, it might be about to get worse. Some people have suggested that in the near future, casino marketing departments will start using security infrastructure to monitor and track your play, whether you use your card or not. Facial recognition programs will detect you and link you with a player's card. They might even create a new player account automatically. After that, they'll track everything you do on a video feed. This technology might even be installed in some big casinos already. You're not safe if you play online either. Everything is tracked through your player account, so it's even easier for online casinos to monitor you. But not all areas in a casino are monitored so closely. Poker rooms are kinda left alone. That might sound surprising, but there's a logic behind it. The people at the poker table are playing against each other. They're not betting against the house. That means the casino doesn't worry about losing money, so they're not as concerned about what happens in that room. That's not the only time the casino doesn't need to watch that closely. Casino management has another secret they use to their advantage: RFID chips. Prominent casinos use these radio frequency identification chips for loads of reasons. Each RFID embedded chip allows casinos to track their chips' movements, which can be pretty important because the RFID chips are almost always high-value chips. Staff can see any suspicious betting patterns and frequent wins from individual players using the chips. These chips also help them find high rollers or big spenders. Then, casino staff can provide these big bettors with various incentives to keep them playing, including free meals or accommodation. But they're also used to prevent theft. All stolen chips from Bellagio Casino in Las Vegas are deactivated as soon as they leave the premises, so they become useless. This has some impressive practical uses. In 2010, it helped them stop a theft worth $1.5 million. In addition, RFID tags make counterfeiting chips virtually impossible. But it does mean that every time you touch a chip worth a lot of money, the casino is literally tracking your every move from the chip itself. That's some impressive technology. The next secret on our list has nothing to do with the secret technology hidden in casinos. It's just good old-fashioned psychology. Number 9. You have a better shot at winning big at the tables, not the machines. Think back to the last time you walked into a casino. What was the first thing you saw? A slot machine, right? Casinos put the slots at the entrance to trick you into playing right away on the shiny machines. There's a good reason for that. You'll probably lose. The play is so random that your chances of winning even a little bit more than you spent are tiny. People love the slots because they're easy to play, only cost a little cash, and they don't need skills or brain power. But they're also not your best bet if you want to win big. But that leaves the question, where should you go if you do want to win? Well, your best bet is to have a go at blackjack, craps, or roulette. That's because those games have the lowest house edge. It's only about 0.5% to 2.70%. That's less than 3% out of 100, leaving you with at least a 97% chance of winning a big payout when playing these games. It is important to note that the low house edge requires you to use basic strategies for blackjack, or, of course, making the right bets on craps. If you want to play roulette, you should know that the house has the edge over you if you're playing on a table with 0 and double zero square. Play on a roulette table with only a 0 square to increase your odds against the house. If you want to win big, clearly you should be walking to the tables. But if you love playing the slots, we won't stop you. But there's something important you should know. Number 8. Ever wondered why slot machines don't have arms anymore? We have the answer. You might remember the days when almost every slot machine had an arm, or lever, that you pulled to activate the spin. But today, that's pretty much completely disappeared. And there's a surprising reason for it, one that casinos don't want you to know. using a lever is much slower than pressing a button. Yes, it really is that simple. Casinos want you to play as quickly as possible at the slots because the more you spin, the more the odds shift in their favor. That's because quicker play increases the amount of money the machine makes for the casino. If you think about it, even tiny margins can make a big difference to profit. If it takes 20 seconds per spin, that doesn't feel like long to a player, but to them, that time could be used better. If a spin takes 5 seconds, then they're getting 4 times the amount of play on that machine. And that means a lot more money being put into it. This becomes even more important if it's a machine that loads of people want to play on. So casinos spend loads of time trying to make games faster. And knowing this means you can get the better of them. They want you to play fast. So slow down next time you're at a slot machine and you'll be getting a lot more value for your money. Even a few seconds more on each go will make a difference. But it's not just the slots that the casinos want to keep moving. Experienced casino visitors will probably have noticed that the fastest and most experienced dealers always appear as night falls. These dealers are so good that they're capable of going through more than 50 hands within a single hour. This means the table brings in as many bets as possible. It also puts players under pressure to place a bet with a limited time, which often leads to bad decisions that the casino profits from. But why is it important to the casino that this happens at night? Simple. There are normally more players in the casino in the evenings and at night. It only makes sense to send in the big guns when there are more people in the room who want to hand over their cash. It's not just the time pressure making you hand over more money. You're holding one of the casino's biggest secrets in your hand every time you play. Number 7. Casinos use chips to make you bet more. We're so used to seeing chips in a casino that you've probably never wondered why they're there in the first place. But there's a reason you're not allowed to bet with cash. The chips don't feel like real money, which psychologists have proven is a good way of getting you to bet more. You're less aware of how much you're actually spending when you use a chip. Just think about it. If that chip was a stack of cash instead, would you be as happy about laying it out on the table? Probably not. It's much easier to gamble with a chip because they don't make you feel guilty or scared about losing tons of money. You're also less likely to count your chips than you would be to count real cash. It's not just the tables that use this technique though. Over the past 20 years, casinos have been slowly phasing out cash payouts at the slots too. Visit a casino today, and you'll probably receive a ticket when you cash out. You then need to take the ticket to a cash-out machine or the cage to exchange for real cash. Casinos say this is simply for your convenience, but that's not true. The main reason they've made this change is to trick you into disassociating from the fact you're holding money, just like the chips on table games. Psychological studies have proven that people are far more likely to gamble if you're holding that ticket or chips instead of cash. And you're also more likely to gamble larger amounts. So don't let them trick you into putting your ticket into another slot machine on the way to cashing out. It's exactly what they want you to do. Always cash out your ticket instead of saving it to play with. Then, once your brain has been reset by looking at the cash, you can make better decisions about how much you're going to gamble next time. But that's only one way to protect yourself from falling into a trap. There's another one waiting for you that's even harder to spot. But what is it? Number 6. Did you almost win? It's probably a trap. The next time you're at a casino, count how many times you almost win. It's a lot, right? Well, those close shaves are no accident. In fact, that's what probably kept you betting more and more. Those almost wins are there to trick your brain into thinking you'll definitely win next time. This is especially true if you're at the blackjack table. Studies have shown that an almost win is followed by a release of dopamine in the brain. Dopamine is a normal hormone that's designed to reward you for completing positive tasks to make you want to repeat them. But when it comes to gambling, the dopamine release is much bigger than normal. It's literally like a high you get from drugs, and it'll make you want to go back to the table right away, even when you didn't actually win. And it's not just blackjack players who have to worry about carefully designed almost wins. There's a new trend on slot machines too. They play a jingle and show an animation telling the player that they won. This used to be legit to let you know you're making a profit, but not so much these days. Slot machines now play this jingle and imply a win, even when the spin actually won less money than you wagered on it. In other words, it's actually a loss, but it's tricking you into thinking you're making money. Regulators are trying to have this outlawed for obvious reasons, but it'll take some time before the laws are changed. But we can help by telling you not to fall for this trick. Make sure you check how much you actually won compared to how much you bet before you accidentally celebrate a loss. Think that secret is pushing the boundaries of the law? The next one is a far more obvious crime. Number 5. Dealers steal. Here's a short secret for you. Dealers will sometimes reach over, pick up a chip, and simply put it in their pockets. For the record, we're definitely not accusing all dealers of stealing. Most dealers are 100% honest, but think about it. There are hundreds of dealers in Las Vegas. You only need to encounter the one that's stealing to lose money. And if they're really skilled, they can steal a stack of chips or even a whole deck of cards with such speed and accuracy that even the cameras don't pick it up. In one famous case, 2 crap stealers at the Bellagio were accused of siphoning more than $1 million off gambling tables over nearly 2 years by quietly paying phantom bets with 2 friends as accomplices. And that story just proves that they have all kinds of methods to help them steal, maybe more than anyone knows about. All we're saying is you need to be on the lookout. But that might be harder than you think. Why? Well, the next secret on our list will explain. Number 4. They have ways of keeping you relaxed. Ever noticed how relaxing casinos can be? They've been designed to intentionally relax you. One of the most surprising ways they do this is by putting expensive aromatherapy oils in their ventilation systems. There are metal devices holding these scents in the ventilation systems of nearly every strip resort. The devices vaporize these highly aromatic oils into the ducts, and the airflow spreads the scent throughout the casino. These oils can be shockingly expensive, but their effect on you makes the cost worth it. One study found that people put about 45% more into slot machines in odorized areas of the casino. I bet you never imagined a smell could have that kind of effect on your brain. But it does. That's only one technique they use, though. Another big secret is that slot machine manufacturers have teams of psychologists and researchers giving them advice on what sounds, colors, movements, and graphics to use in games in order to make the player feel as happy as possible, and therefore more likely to keep playing. Casinos also play background music to affect how you behave. One study from the Journal of Behavioral Addictions found that people who gambled while listening to a low-tempo soundtrack played for longer because of the relaxing effect. Those who heard high-tempo music while playing placed bets a lot faster. Casinos have used this information to make you behave the way they want, whenever they choose. Does that information make you feel a little icky? Then you're definitely not gonna like the next big secret on our list. Number 3. There's a shady reason they're giving you free drinks. Everyone gets excited when they get a free drink. Not only is a free drink a great bonus, it also makes you feel super special and pampered. But in reality, those drinks aren't being handed over because they want to be nice to you. They're actually trying to impair your decision-making. They're hoping that the more you drink, the less you'll think about the consequences of betting more. And speaking of things that look like rewards, let's talk about players and slots clubs. This is one of the biggest cons in the gambling industry. Casinos promote the clubs as their way of giving back to players and rewarding your loyalty. Sure, you do get benefits from joining, but the real reason they exist is to provide the casino marketing department with player data. That helps them attract and keep players like you. They analyze your play, likes, dislikes, and betting patterns to work out how best to market themselves to you so that you keep coming back. Yes, the benefits are probably worth it to you, but they're not really doing it to reward you. That's a pretty sneaky way of getting stuff from you. But there's an even more shady thing they do to keep you playing. Number 2, they want you to lose track of time. You were probably having such a good time during your last casino visit that you didn't even notice there were no windows. But the casino sure did. They did that on purpose. It's also that you don't know what time it is. You won't spot a clock anywhere in the casino for exactly the same reason. If you can see the sun going down or the fact that it's getting close to midnight, you're more likely to decide it's probably time to go home. But the casino doesn't want that. They want you to stick around for a few more hours so they can make even more money out of you. Also, if you've ever been encouraged by casino staff to put your phone away, now you know why. Think that's the last of their sneaky mind games? Well, we've got one more for you. Number 1. Does it feel like you've gotten lost in a maze? They did that on purpose. Casinos are purposefully set up to feel like a maze. They want you to get lost so you get distracted, end up stopping by more games, and playing for much longer than you intended. But don't be fooled. Even though the layout feels random, it definitely isn't. Every inch of the casino has been analyzed and measured by the casino gaming department. They monitor and analyze where the people are, and value is placed on certain areas of the casino, helping them to decide where to put each game to maximize their profits. The slot machines are even worse. They're placed specifically to disorient you and make you play more while you try to find the bathroom or exit. But here's a good tip for slot machine lovers. Not all slot machines are created equal. What we mean by that is, some pay out a lot more than others. The most popular slots are normally video slots, but they pay out less than classic real slots. This is because real slots are cheaper to run and maintain, and aren't as appealing to the player as the extravagant and pop culture themed video slots. The casinos dial down the payout rate specifically because they're more popular, and also because they take up more space, but mainly because of the profits. And importantly, the most popular games are placed closer to the areas with a lot of foot traffic, where they can make even more money for casinos. If you're looking for better chances to win big on slot machines, then stick to the classic slots. They offer bigger prizes to drag you away from the flashier new machines. And here's our big tip. You'll find the classic slots with bigger payouts at the back of the casino, further away from all the people. Now you know these shady secrets, you can walk through the casino like a pro next time. There's no way they're gonna trick you into handing over all your cash. But you're still not the ultimate pro yet. Want to know who is? Take a look at these gambling geniuses in our list of 200 IQ moments from the history of gambling.